What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. They done snuck a new show on me. To having to hold on own to having to hold Charlotte. It's on own, and it's another show like Love and Marriage and Huntsville and all of that. It's on own, so the ratchet is gonna be low, which is good because I'm cool with some low ratchet sometime. But let's see. We'll give it a chance. So far I like the first episode, so we're gonna give it a chance. It came on Saturday night after Ayanla, so I honestly didn't even know anything about it until I was looking at Ayanla and I saw the preview for it, and I was like, oh, let me check it out. So I just watched it tonight. Came on Saturday night, so but I just watched it tonight. So it takes place in Charlotte, North Carolina, which I'm very familiar with Charlotte. I have a lot of friends in Charlotte. I have a godson that lives in Charlotte. So I'm in Charlotte often. Of course, I don't know none of these people, but I'm familiar with Charlotte. And it's 5 couples. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the couples, and then I'm gonna give you a little overview of what went down in the first episode. So we have couple number one, Elaine and Kendrick. Um, I said Kendrick, Yandrick. His name is Yandrick, and they're sort of like the main couple. I think the show revolves around the two of them. Like all the other couples are sort of connected to them. They're sort of the nucleus. Elaine has a over the top type attitude. I mean, type personality. Um, Yandrick is an entrepreneur, and they have 4 children. This episode revolves around um, the event of this episode is Yandrick's birthday. So what we find out about them is they were very financially comfortable up until recently. Yandrick had a restaurant that didn't do too well. It ended up going under, and then Elaine's job abruptly ended. She was a creative director for like a high end salon, and then the salon closed like with little to no notice. So she has now opened up her own salon. She's a cosmetologist, so she does hair as well, but she's opened up her own business, and he is trying to recover from the financial loss. I don't know if he has a regular 9 to 5. A lot of times entrepreneurs may or may not have regular 9 to 5s on top of it, but by him hitting this setback, they didn't really get into whether he works a 9 to 5 at this point, but we definitely know that he's still hustling. He's still doing things to try to bring the finances in. He doesn't like the fact that his family has had to adjust. The problem is he's adjusted. Elaine is. Elaine still want to live that lifestyle that they were living when the money was good. Their kids are in private school. Um, he said he wanted to do a brunch for like 15 people. She was like, 15? That's nothing. That's nothing. I want like 200. He was like, whoa, whoa, pump your brakes. And he kept trying to tell her that's too much. That's too much. Like he didn't come right out and say we can't afford to do that, but he did everything except say we can't afford to do that. And it was like she just wasn't. She didn't want to hear him because she know. I mean, like they had a conversation later on in the episode where they were talking about their finances, and she was like, I hate the fact that I can't do the things I want to do or I'm used to doing, and I don't really want to change my lifestyle. And I wrote in my notes, if you look at Married to Medicine, I wrote in my notes that this reminds me of the couple that had the tax problems, Toya. And then Toya always wanted to have parties and live this lifestyle and put on these fronts. And then on the back end, they were really suffering. And I'm like, so the party ended up being like 150 people, and she had her party planner, which is another couple. They didn't really get into their story a whole lot this episode. They're a gay couple. But he was her party planner, and he was even encouraging her like, when because then he said, Yandrick sort of compromise. I guess he compromised. Was like, okay, fine, we can do. I think he said 100 people or something like that, and they were both like 100. 100. I can get 100 people on the phone now, and it was just like, well, damn, like how much more you want? Like I done already kind of adjusted a little bit. So that's sort of their storyline. And excuse me, we'll get into that. Lord, I'm sorry. Look, I keep telling y'all I don't be yawning until this camera come on. Ursula and Clinton. Okay, so Ursula and Clinton are they're sort of the black hippies. They are vegan, and now Clinton is vegan for Ursula. He said, I do yoga for Ursula. I do this for Ursula. trying to keep her happy because I like cigars and whiskey. My kind of guy. I like cigars and whiskey too. Y'all know I love me my whiskey. And he's like, I kind of do it for her. If it makes her happy, it's cool. It's whatever because then, I do yoga, I can smoke a cigar. I eat vegan, I can drink some whiskey. So, and they're sort of a cute couple. They didn't really get a whole lot into their story. Ursula, I'm trying to. Clinton is an IT guy. I don't remember what they said Ursula did, but Clinton is an IT guy. So yeah, that was that. Then we have I know I'm saying her name wrong. She's a judge, and David, he's an attorney. Now, a lot of the episode focused around them as well because they're, of course, to the outside they're this power couple. They've got two kids, nice lifestyle. He has his own law firm. She's a judge in Mecklenburg County, but behind closed doors, they're having some really serious marital problems to the point where in this episode they're talking about nesting. Now, nesting is some shit I ain't never heard before. I've heard of it in practice. I just didn't know that's what the name of it was. Where instead of the kids having to move back and forth, the parents move back and forth. So you keep the house, but like he would stay there a week while she lives in an apartment, and then she would come back, stay there a week while he lives in an apartment, so that they don't have to uproot the kids and the kids don't have to move back and forth. And it's not quote unquote a separation; it's sort of a step towards that to see if that's where we want to go. He's totally against it. He ain't trying to do it. He don't want to do it, but that's what she wants. And her thing is, I'm just not happy. We're not connecting. We're not communicating, and I'm just not in a good place. And I don't know what else to do at this point. And so I need to see if this is where we need to be and if this is what we need to move towards, or if this is really not what I want and we need to figure out something else. I really felt bad for them because I feel like there's love there. They just somewhere along the way just got disconnected. The plug got pulled, something. But I definitely feel for them. We'll get back to them because some other stuff went down. We'll get back to them. Then we have Christine and Daryl. Now, Christine and Daryl are the power couple. Okay, they live on Lake Norman, which is a private gated community right outside of Charlotte. They live on the lake. They've got all the gadgets and the toys. They have great incomes together. He's a financial planner. He said he manages over however many millions of dollars. She works corporate. She makes a good job. She's an corporate, has a corporate job working for a utility company. And I wonder if that's Duke Power. Anyway, um, they don't have any children. He wants kids. She doesn't know. Her thing is, I really like my lifestyle. I really don't want to change my lifestyle, but seems to be some tension between her and Elaine, which goes back to that first couple I told you about. Lane ain't really necessarily crazy about Miss Christine. She feels like Christine likes attention. And Christine and Daryl have a 48-hour rule, meaning that they have sex anywhere between now and 48 hours. Like every 48 hours, they getting it in. That's interesting. I ain't mad at them, but that's interesting. Um, but that's sort of their thing. So let's get into a little bit about how things went down in this episode. So the judge, because I know I keep saying her name wrong. She ended up meeting with Elaine and confiding in Elaine exactly how bad the marriage was and that they were going to try this nesting thing. Now Elaine's thing was, I really wish that she had come to us before it got to this point, but the judge, what's her name? I wrote it down, but it's like Ty. I'm gonna get it right, y'all. Y'all know how I am with names. Um, But she said that, I was always told that you just keep your business private. And so, no, I didn't really confide in my friends. I didn't really tell my friends what was going on. But at this point, I kind of need to get it off my chest and just share it with somebody. Now, problem is you shared it with the wrong damn person. You knew Elaine ass can't hold water. No sooner did she get done talking to the judge, Elaine done got on the phone and called Ursula and told Ursula what's going on. So her and Ursula end up having lunch. Honey, now look, this lets you know how crazy Elaine is. They were having lunch at a vegan restaurant. Elaine walked in that bitch in a full mink coat. and then asked for a shot of vodka. Now, there is vegan alcohol, but still, you ain't see vodka on that damn menu. So she ends up telling Ursula what's going on. Ursula's thing is, I don't feel like I'm getting the whole story. I feel like it's more to this story than what's being said. So I'm gonna try to get some information out of the judge myself. So at the brunch that they're having for um Yandrik, mind you, they in this really nice venue. Looked like the food was really nice. Like everything looked really nice now. I ain't taking nothing away from the situation, but everybody is talking to the two. Now, David, at first, David didn't know if he was going to go to the brunch, but he ended up going to the brunch or whatever. But everybody is talking about marriage. And the judge is like, I'm trying to figure out. She was like, I feel like everybody knows something, but they ain't telling me what they know. Because everybody want to talk about marriage and how hard it is and let's work on it and da 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 da. And then finally, Ursula says something to kind of really let them know that they know what's going on. And the husband, Clinton, just come right out and says, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what's really the problem with the two of y'all? The look on Ursula's face was like, I know this mofo did not just say that. And so, of course, now the judge is like, well, gee, thanks, Elaine. Like, this was a confidential conversation, and damn. Now the whole world knows what's going on between me and my husband. Now, you know the old saying, the only secret that's kept is the one you keep to yourself. But I do also understand that sometimes you need to vent and you need to talk about it and share. So, you in the catch-22, but like I said, you know your friends. You knew she was gonna tell. You knew she was gonna say something. So the episode ends with them actually doing the nesting, with him packing and leaving. And he was like, look, I grew up in a single family home and my father was around, but he wasn't in the house. And I know that affected me. And my biggest problem is I want to be here for my children. I want to be here for my sons. I don't like it. I really just don't like this. And her thing is, but I'm not going to be unhappy either. Like I don't like it. I grew up in a single family home too, but I'm not going to be unhappy. I'm not going to be in a marriage that's just loveless. And it was a very emotional scene. She was crying, and it wasn't easy for either one of them. You could definitely tell. But that is pretty much where the episode ended. Like I said, I liked it. They give you the previews for the season to come, so you see what some drama's gonna come up and some things are gonna come down. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna keep watching it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.